Alright, game versus lightning. Opening face-off. Let's see if there's anything worth picking out in this first shift. So far, nothing standing out at the moment. So Dave gets the puck. Aha. So, I think the first thing here is, Carrie-Anne turning too early. I think, in my opinion, either she goes along the boards and kind of stays there, ready to receive the puck, rimming up, or kind of stay here with your back towards the boards, ready to kind of receive it on your tape, and then you just skate up. Keep it simple, rather than skating up early, and so that kind of puts you in a position to not be able to receive that, and that gets set down. Lena's in a good spot to break up that play, just couldn't quite beat number 12 on the foot race there. And so let's continue. Cross-ice pass into the zone. Pass up. So, yeah, I guess that's a little example of sometimes if we're not used to playing on the off wing, being Carrie-Anne left-handed on the right side, and then obviously we also have Lena right-handed on the left wing. There are some challenges in terms of getting used to receiving pucks and skating with it on the offside, but I think it was a good, gives our red tapes a chance to try everything, and just to get the nuances of the position. So nothing crazy, just a little slight positioning. Obviously we were playing defense most of the time there, but let's end the clip here, and I shall see you on the next clip. I think right here, so we broke up a play, and Janice is there, sends it back over to Fee. That's fine. We get a reset, and we can see she's in a bit of the middle of the ice and should be starting to make her way all the way to the left wing. Could be something that we're just still getting used to. She was used to right wing, and now she just needs to get used to being on the other side. That's fine. So the more games we get into different positions, the more everyone's gonna kind of get, oh my god, Ray, what the hell? I guess I understand the idea. The only thing is, we see Fee has gotten up to the blue line a little early. Well, I wouldn't say too early, but early, and so she's now stopped. One of the things I think for her is a little bit of learning to control pace, and what I mean by that is we can see she's skating, it looks fairly hard, so let's pay attention from here all the way to the blue line. She's pumping her feet. She lets up a little bit at the red line. And one of the things, or the tricks I would want to suggest for everyone, is you're gonna need to really read the puck carrier. And if that means right here, she needs to glide a little bit, then glide a little bit. And you're just trying to hunt down all the laneways for where like those passes will be. So right now, it looks like this is that laneway. So let's, as it evolves, he's ahead of the play a little bit. So I would have maybe suggested for her to like slow down a little bit, because right here would be that laneway. So we want to kind of stay in that area, or alternatively, this is where the cutting concept comes in, where rather than, you see how she's just coming in on a straight line. Where does that cutting concept come in? Is boom, if she cut across diagonally like this, now you see this other secondary laneway opens up right into a path for a breakaway. And so if we can get rid of that straight line mindset, so in this case, Fion's a right wing and she has to be that right wing, we're only doing straight lines, it becomes very stale. Whereas if you see there's open space, we can even go back to that 3-lane highway. So right now, nobody is occupying right here. And so she could totally go up there as Ray's coming across. So a little bit to digest, but certainly something you can think about. And yeah, we can rewind right here about that pace control, where now if we had slowed down a little bit and then now we start to speed up, when Ray is, you kind of see this laneway opening wide up and Ray is getting ready to pass. If you were able to time it where just you're still in forward stride right here, it'd be perfect. So it's going to be a lot of pace control, and that would apply for everybody. So a couple things we could digest from this play. Number one is we can control your pace a little bit by watching the puck carrier. Or number two, identify areas that you can skate in where you can cut across like this diagonally, where you can find alternative lanes to get that puck to you. So this was a pretty funny sequence. So Wes is calling for the puck on the Lightning. He stumbles, and then Ernest was also kind of there to try to intercept. And Wes is able to make the play. So 3-on-1, but we got some good back-checking pressure. Good enough. And here comes Wes, picks up that loose puck, runs into Fee. Absolute decimation going on right here. Unfortunately, goal against. Goal for the Lightning. And let's do a little rewind here. We know what happened. Justin shared it in the locker room and on the bench. He said, oh, for a moment he forgot he was center there for a second. He thought he was a winger, and so it's pretty obvious how this happens. Now, can't be too harsh on Justin as well, and let me explain why. So Ernest is coming back, and we see the puck going into the corner, and thus we should expect lefty would be in charge of getting to that puck carrier, putting pressure on them at least. And that's fine. He kind of does. We don't need to go crazy because I believe I can't tell who has that puck right there, but it looks like a red tape. And who are the next falling up responsibilities for our D would be far side post, short side post, where the center onto this player. I mean, that's a given. Obviously, we already know about that. And Ernest should be closer to Wes, right? And now my argument is, if he was playing that properly by being closer to the winger, it would put him in a spot where he could defend 18, at least being able to poke check by closing up the distance, whereas he opted to go to the side of the net where there's no reason to go there at the moment. It only makes sense if this player starts cutting across, then you start to challenge it. And so so if Ernest was perhaps here, there's a bit of a chance. And then we obviously know Justin was out of position. So couple notes there for this goal against. Alright, so this sequence I thought a little suspicious. Let's kind of watch through the whole thing and then I'll break it down. So it's looking a little sketchy already with Ray getting chased. Ooh, big backhand shot. That looked like it had a lot of power too. So let's rewind this. It was a kind of a bad turnover. So the first thing Ray probably should do is he gets the puck here, and in my opinion, get it behind the net. That's going to give you a lot of options to really scan the area, and you won't be. The thing is, if you're back here rather than in front, you're not kind of afraid of fucking up and accidentally putting the puck in your own net in general, and you get a little bit of an extra layer of defense. And you don't need to fiddle around, look around. You get that extra time, whereas right now you feel a lot of pressure like this as opposed to being just behind the net, because you kind of got that net to be your barrier. So right here, he's seeing, oh, don't really have a lot of options, so because right now we would probably want to see Janice all the way over here. So she is making her way there, you know, but there's some time that needs to be accounted for, right? And from his perspective, we can also see that it's kind of getting closed off. So for Janice, it would have been preferable to come even all the way over here rather than up here. Now, yeah, let's work through all the breakout positioning, and then before we go back to roasting Ray. For Alex, he's too high. That's simple as that. I would have preferred him to basically, the only difference is really coming down and maybe just slightly ahead of Ray. And yeah, like I said, you really don't realize how close you need to be, because you know, in person you probably think this feels super close, but you need to be a lot closer. And that's really how you're going to get a lot of these quick breakouts out, because right here it's going to be, you still need to pivot, versus if Alex, you went kind of in a path like this, or even touching that blue, like the crease paint, and then coming up, it kind of opens up a much easier passing lane, versus this is kind of crap. So that's kind of something that you'll definitely want to work on yourself. Now, so we kind of gone through what Ray should have done, get his butt behind that net. He would have saved him all this trouble, and he wouldn't need to worry about that. So at this point, he gets it behind the net, and simple chip to here probably would have done the job. And then same with let's actually watch how Alex skates up before I say anything. Yeah, what Alex did is fine. Probably if he could yell out, hey, Ray, 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 and he can, all he has to do is area pass it, like just in this vicinity, all of these problems have gone away and Alex can pick it up and ready to go. So, and the same thing could also be said for our winger. Be probably on the boards would be preferable, where Ray can just hammer it up and easy pickup. But it's fine. Anyways, bad turnover. Main culprit, Ray, but we can take some notes on breakout positioning for the remainder of the forwards as well. All right, so this one I have to say is a little irritating to see. And let me explain why. So One thing I want to take note of first is Alex is a right-handed player, and he's basically on the left side of the ice, right? Cutting it ice in half, left side of the ice. So when we're playing on our off wing, a lot of new players will tend to keep it on their backhand, like in front of them, puck in front of them, and then they smack it with their backhand to do a pass. I'll probably be able to find some examples later on in this game. What I would like to encourage most of us is, if you have the space, do what Alex is doing, is bring it to your forehand and then do a pass on your forehand. It's going to tend to be more accurate. In this case, it's not accurate because, I don't know, it's not really tape to tape, but it's leading the pass for Fee to skate into, which is, you know, that's fine. This is not what I'm going to roast Alex about. But in general, for all our red tapes, if you're on the off side, like off wing side, try to bring it to your forehand by just either turning your body, or just turning in general, like just turning like this. Or if you can twist your body, it's a little bit more difficult, understandably, but if you can get it onto your forehand, it's going to be preferable. But you won't always be able to do it just because of, you know, pressure from other players. But that's fine. That's something for note for all red tapes. Now, what I'm, I would say, slightly annoyed by with Alex is he almost put himself offside. Why? Why would you do this? And let me explain. He has kind of clear ice, right, coming into the zone. However, he almost skates into the zone with, like, if he had both feet and the stick is out here, some refs will call that as offside. You could argue that's in control, and some refs will let you do that. But sometimes they will say, well, the puck's not over the line before you are, and then that's offside. But also, let's put it this way. It looks like Alex is coming into the zone. It really does, right? But now he puts the puck back on this way. If Fee stepped over the line earlier, just because it looks like Alex is going in the zone, but then he brings it back over the line, then it's a offside. So it's kind of strange. He had the room to go in to do that. So something to note for everyone else. Try to get in the zone before, and then if you're gonna get in the zone, don't bring it back out of the zone. So yeah, this play looked a little sketch. We got Wes coming up, beats Ernest coming up the boards. This looked really suspicious. We got Dave back here. Oh my goodness, that looks kind of scary. One well-placed shot on the rebound. Luckily, it kind of went in front of Cliff, so pretty well controlled on that rebound there. But let's do a little freeze frame one more time. Oh goodness. We're about to witness our first shot on net in the first period after about 10 minutes of playing. Holy cow. Dave just dangling the crap. Let's watch this one more time. Boom, takes it out. Boom, dangle, toe drag, backhand pass. Oh my gosh. That went in on our first shot on net after Dave's crazy moves. No, we gotta watch this one more time. Boom, toe drag, backhand. Oh my gosh. And then blocker save by Jeff. That's crazy. That's wild. Oh man, that's another big, that's okay. I want to highlight this actually. So I've said before, I would rather we lose the puck on our stick than panic passing, and it's so clear that Lena did not panic pass. She gathers it, takes a look, backhand pass, boom, big one-timer, perfect spot, right in the magic spot. That's a high quality chance right there. But I wanted to highlight how it's really clear. Lena takes a look, backhand pass. Calm, there is pressure on her. Like there's someone right behind her, and she doesn't panic it and gets a really good pass on the tape. So that's something I want to highlight. Really good. So for everyone, again, try to hold on the puck and be very get a good look and then get a good pass. Don't just try to whack it away if you feel like there's someone right behind you. I wanted to highlight this one again. So I would say in general I would recommend D to D. However, Ray likes to play it a little risky, and we got Maria breathing down his neck in front of his face. And what does he have to do? He does not decide to do the safe play, get behind the net. He does not decide to do the safe play, D to D. He decides to do a dangle in front of Cliff. Let's increase his heart rate a little bit higher. And then sends a decent pass up, but perhaps a little risky if it wasn't a red tape in front of him. Not the best habit to be building, but it worked out in this case. Luckily for me, Ray decides to show me what a safe play would look like. Look at that. Pressure from Maria. D to D pass. Pretty simple. We tried to do a quick up like this. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out. Partially would be on me to not get it right on Kathy's tape. And then I guess part of the other equation is I'm not certain, like, okay, the pathway on Kathy looks a little strange, and now let me explain. So she's doing a lot of elements, great. So coming back, skating towards Ray, and if forechecker's not here, simple pass, right? And then here also would be pretty simple pass. Now, the thing I want to highlight for everyone to kind of see is, let's say we get kind of tape to tape pass right here. The angle required for Kathy to kind of skate up with speed is quite sharp, and kind of see that right here. It's a very sharp turn requiring. Whereas I think if something to improve upon is when I'm saying sharp, the issue with that is not that she can't make the turn, like she obviously can. The issue is you don't have the speed to really bring a good offensive rush. And so boom, right here, once that pass is going, I would have preferred that Kathy is starting to skate like horizontally rather than even towards the passer. Towards the passer sometimes makes sense for if we're kind of slowing down the pace. However, like I said, right here, if she is able to, and I think in general it's just going horizontally, it's going to be a little bit of pace control as well. But the difference is, let's say the pass connects. You're still in a really good position to receive the pass going horizontally in this direction. It's not going to be facing, which is easier, but this is still fine. This would be bad, right, if you had your back turned. So let's talk right here. If she was going, we can even use Fiona as the reference point. Actually, why don't we look at her? So look at, let's rewind. She's skating this way now, right? And let's say if Kathy was doing the same thing right there, the difference is she can skate, yeah, it's outside of Fion's reach a little bit, but you can kind of see the difference in speed. If she was able to capture it, get it, now she has speed coming up, like she's kind of in a forward skating position or stance already, versus what Kathy had to do this crazy sharp turn, and she's not in a really good body posture to build up speed. And that's kind of where that difference is. So wanted to highlight that routing as well for everybody. So here is perfect example. So Janice is coming up, and boom, we see how the puck is in front of her, and she's trying to do a backhand whack towards Kathy, I would assume. And that's one of the things we want to try to avoid. If we can go back to when Alex did his funky blue line pass, where he brings it to his forehand, that's what we would prefer to do. Now, one of the things, Janice, if you can work towards as well, is if you ever see, oh, somebody is coming in towards you. One of the things you can you would want to work towards in terms of puck protection, if you can't beat them with speed, is turn around, and you just turn around, put the puck towards the boards, and you're almost sticking your butt in their face. So turn your back to them, and it just makes it harder for them to get the puck off of you. And then from there, you can assess the play. Where do you want to pass it to? So number one is puck protection. And another thing to take off this is try to bring it to your forehand if you can, but sometimes you can't. That's just how it is. But if you can, it would be preferred. I wanted to highlight, this was one of the more impressive board battles. Kathy versus, I think his name is Ryan on the Lightning. She comes out ahead. That's crazy. Look at the body positioning on that. So puck's at the foot, and she has a good wide stance and wins the puck battle. Now, unfortunately, I gotta rag on her a little bit. Force pass hits 90-watt in the foot. Why? You just threw it away. You threw it away. There's another highlight. So Ernest does a good job of backward skating and kind of closing the gap. The only thing is, once he makes that kind of poke check, he stops moving, right? And if he can work towards keeping that backwards momentum and poke checking multiple times, it's going to be game changing for him, because you can see how he gets beat around like that. And that's really just because he comes to a complete stop when he goes for the poke check. Alright, so Lena's coming up with the puck. They're very kind to let her come up, of course, red tape, but they were even more gracious to let Lena come even closer to the net. So good old Albert letting the red tape come in and shoot. Slightly misses the net, but boom, right here. If we can pause, it had a backboard. It's off to Alex. He has got Jeff absolutely dead to rights. Got the whole Grand Canyon to go shoot at. It's the post. But he almost makes up for it. Gets a really good pass to Fee. Oh my goodness. And another highlight we've kind of said before. She's at the side of the net. So basically in that magic spot where it puts her in a really easy spot for that pass to come through. And I legit thought it was going in. You can see I'm raising my hands because I thought it was in, but somehow Jeff made the save. My goodness. So that was two big chances. I thought it was going to be goals for sure, but unfortunately, we are not able to tie the game just yet. So this is a okay, it's awkward. So pass gets over here, and we're playing too many games right there. So anytime we get towards that blue line, we don't want to play any games. If you want to give it to Dave, which is understandable, lead him. So what that would require for a fee is you actually wrap it with like in a forehand and drop it, swing it behind you, and let Dave skate into it, and that's gonna allow you to give him the puck and also have him to skate in. Now option number 2, of course, is you just tight turn yourself and carry it back into the zone. Totally good, but being little cute passes like that can definitely invite trouble. Fortunately, nothing happened right here, and we couldn't quite keep it in the zone. So at this point, we got a few tired members on the ice, so I opted to go for a reset, skate it behind the net, have everyone go for a change, get some fresh legs on the ice, and now we're just waiting for everyone to get on, and we're off to the races. Breakout. Oh, unfortunately, got a little too cute there by Justin. Understandable. That's one of the plays he does every so often, where Fion is coming up with speed. Totally, I get the idea. Just got a little cute. It's funny because we had back-to-back cute passes and it just didn't quite work out, and so a little bit of a turnover there. But I thought that, you know, the idea was there. Little recap here. I think we try to don't be too cute with the passes on the blue line. If you do want to do a pass like that, make sure you lead the pass so they can skate into it with speed. And then takeaway number 2: if we know people have been on the ice for a while and it's pretty much time for a change, don't be afraid. Skate it all the way back behind the net, get some fresh bodies on the ice, and then we can do a breakout from there. So a couple takeaways. So Lightning almost scored another goal here off of a crazy deflection off of Maria's foot and just hit the post, but that's not what the centerpiece of this clip is. So we have a bit of a breakout, and I think elements of it are actually quite good, other than we got called for an offside. So in this situation, myself as the D is coming up with the rush, and it's in this situation I'm actually okay with having all 3 forwards join, so it's 4 players on the rush together. And in this case, you generally do not really need to have a forward staying back. It's only in the offensive zone that you need to worry about that. But some of the things I want to highlight is, first of all, is how Kathy starts to trend towards the left side, and Lena is also trailing. That's fine. And Fee is starting to trend out to the right. So we can kind of see how that the elements of, we can think of that 3-lane highway, we're all taking separate lanes, and it really helps to spread out the ice. Now, from my point of view, I'm seeing that players are starting to trend shift this way, and so a pass up to Fee doesn't really make sense, and we see an opening up with this back turned to spring Kathy into the zone with basically uncontested ice. And I have talked in the past about when we start to get to about right around here, so not quite the center ice, but once we pass that, we try to avoid doing any passes towards the blue line, because if you screw up the pass, oftentimes it'll be you'll find yourself offside. And in this situation, it kind of almost, we put ourselves in that situation. As you can see how we passed, and then we had to slow down in order for Kathy to get into the zone. And unfortunately, Fee just got a step too early into the zone for the offside. It was close, but just one step too early. And I think it's worth it in this situation just because we can see how this D is starting to close this angle off, and without this pass you'd probably need to dump it in order to get it into the zone and get a clean pass over to Kathy before they start shutting us off into the boards. So in this case it didn't quite work out. However, I think elements of it is good. In my opinion, I would probably do this again given the same situation. Okay, I thought this sequence was hilarious. Not this part. This part's fine. We could argue that Ernest could have dumped it, but this part is fine. What the funny sequence is coming up. So Dave comes back on the reset. One of the things I want to make a comment first is Ernest stops up pretty early, and I don't like that. Right? You can see how Dave, like, this is never going to be a pass to Ernest because there's a player in front of him. And in general, I've kind of said in the past with D, we want to be at least lateral or slightly behind. Slightly behind is the safer choice. Lateral is going to be that bare minimum. So he's got a lot of different distance for Ernest to cover in an ideal situation. Now, again, you can see, I think that pass was probably meant for Alex, just so that Ernest does end up getting it. Awkward situation, couldn't quite cleanly get it, and there is a red tape right in his face, as well as a centerman. And this part is funny, he's fumbling around, couldn't quite get it, there's the puck there, and Fiona is saying, it's behind you, it's by your feet. And then he loses it, knocks into Carrie. And let me try to increase the volume and see if you can hear it. Let me zoom it back. Maybe not. The sound isn't so great, but basically you just hear Fees saying, Ernest! Just a wrecking ball to our own teammates. This was great stuff. I think here's another great example of the D joining the rush. And you can almost, when we're in a situation like this, I said this earlier, I don't mind having, I actually prefer having the three forwards join in on the rush. And we've talked about the 3-lane highway concept. When we're in a situation like this, you can almost think of it even split into 4 lanes on that highway. Each one taking a lane, or you can just trail. So let's say Dave's coming up, Alex can actually just trail behind him. So it allows for any drop passes and stuff like that to kind of happen. But this is fine. So let's continue watching. I don't mind this at all. And then I think from here, I would have preferred having someone drive that net. Alex or Carrie Ann, doesn't really matter. And we can set up in the zone right there. But this is totally works for me. Except unfortunate turnover there. But that kind of rush, I like it. And yeah, for everyone, if the D is rushing, totally game for all 3 forwards to join in on the rush. So it's going to be a 4 on 3, 4 on 2. So usually going to be an odd man situation. Here is a really good example of D to D zigzagging backwards. Boom, just like that. That's simple, and it relieves the forechecking pressure off of you immediately. So key elements of it, Ray has it. There's a forechecker coming in. So the D, we gotta say, like I said, at the very least, horizontal, but preferred to be slightly backwards. And so, boom, simple pass like that. And as a D, we're looking up at our forwards. Is there any clean passes we can give right now? And for Ray right there, he said, nope, I didn't see anything good at the moment. And now I'm evaluating and evaluating. oh, it looks like Fee could have been a pass, but there's some players there. This player's coming in, could totally intercept that, and we decide, nope, I don't want to do that. And key elements here, horizontal, slightly behind, and we're using full width of the ice, right? There's that 3, we can even separate to the 3-lane highway again. I'm occupying that right lane, Ray's occupying that left lane, and so boom, we stretch across the entire ice. We decided didn't really like that pass, and now look at that, all that open ice for Ray to work with. There's a pass, he could skate it up, tons to operate with, and we get it in the zone. Pretty simple, right? Just simple zigzag backwards allows us to get in the zone completely uncontested. This one was crazy. So Ray goes for a shot, and it ramps up, and the puck's right here, and eventually it ends up hitting the crossbar and then back over the netting, but it almost went in the net. That's what's crazy about it. Bink. I don't know if you could have saw that, but that was pretty wild. A little mid-game blooper here. So Carrie-Anne coming up the ice, and she kind of takes it to the outside, stops up right there. One of the things I think, in my opinion, that Carrie-Anne or anyone else in general is going to want to do, and what I get, okay, let's back it up a bit. I want everyone to kind of make note of something. Look at how close she is with this player, and one way that you can combat that is bring it to your outside like this, and now there's a little bit of puck separation. However, I think it would be preferred if she starts to kind of angle out if she's not able to beat this defender. And one of the other things I wanted to make a note of is how she stops up like this, and you can see how easy it is to boom, now it's an interception, and Justin's here to swoop up to grab the loose puck. However, what I think Carrie-Anne should do, and it will also achieve the same thing, and it'll actually come out as a benefit, is rather than stopping up like this, like that, she does a turn towards the boards, and now she's skating up, and then skates to the middle. And it'll basically achieve the same thing, which is getting on that forehand. However, she's going to have speed, and she's going to lose the defender off of her. And from there, she could decide to pass, or she can skate it in and shoot it herself. But that's going to be a big change, like a preferable change to do that rather than stopping up like this. And it only makes sense to stop up like this if there's adequate space between you and the defender, but in this case it's quite tight. You can see a lot of this like the back check compressor is right there. The moment she stopped up, there's somebody there. So that's something I would say for everyone to consider, even especially if you're playing on the off wing. Now you get a big pass up to Ernest, big block on the shaft, and unfortunately gives up for a breakaway. Big save by Cliff. Big save. Now, nothing Ernest did wrong there. It's just a kind of unlucky bounce with how it was blocked. But we gotta show Cliff making those big saves. I think this is a perfect clip of what Carrie-Anne should have done. And fortunately, Sam, that was subbing in for the Lightnings, is a perfect specimen to demonstrate. So he's taking back, boom, tight turn, back the other way, and he's lost the defender. In this case, it's Carrie-Anne that's forechecking. If she did that in the previous play, look at, like, now she's created separation, and then she could skate in. But that's a pretty clear demonstration, just opposite end. Now in the past, I've talked about if you can mix up your movement, zigzag, like doing a snake pattern along the ice. How hard is that to defend? It's pretty difficult because, like, if you defend like how Ernest with your back turned, he's gone out in the middle, going back out wide. He's kind of mixed up the defender. So in this case, it's Ernest. He's gone this way. Now this player is going that way, and that creates a gap, a separation, which is just like that. Free zone entry, not able to get any pressure onto him, right? And so just like that, gets a big pass to Maria, and they get a shot in the slot. And so what could we do ideally for Ernest? We can always talk ideals, but you know, in this situation, we would have preferred to see is, you know, skating backwards, being able to match pace, blah blah blah. That's something we can work towards. But I wanted to highlight what Sam did to demonstrate on offense, forwards, and attacking through the zone, what we can always work towards, what we can strive towards. And it's a clear demonstration of why that's effective. Just that zigzag crossovers back and forth, pretty simple, right? He just comes out into the middle, now it just angles back out, and he's created big separation between the defenders, and it's a pretty easy zone entry. But now we're about to witness a game tying goal. So here comes Lena coming up the rush, takes a shot on net. Bad rebound control by Jeff, knocks it out with his stick, and let's kind of rewind that again. But Kathy's able to grab it, wraps around Jeff, backhand into the net. Ooh, let's watch that one more time. Why don't we? Big shot by Lena, rebounds out, and she grabs it, backhands into the net. And now we got a 1-1 tie. We got Dave rimming it up the boards. Let's watch it one more time, actually. So Dave sends it up. Their player wasn't quite able to handle it, and Lena starts skating up. Shot on net, rebound, and in. Here's another demonstration of the D going on the rush, and we've said totally happy with 4 players on the to go up on the rush together, because you're always going to have odd mans, so 1, 2, 3 at most. So this creates a really good opportunity to score goals. So good give and go. I think right there, yeah, it's a good attempt. And one of the things we could always think about as well is shooting for that rebound, but also you can kind of see eyeballing right here. We got 2 trailers for a big opportunity right here. So unfortunately it gets blocked, but because we have 4 players joining in on the rush, this opens up this opportunity. Big shot, big save, but awesome chance right there. Okay, so this play coming up, really weird by Alex. What was that? Okay, so Alex gets the recovery here, and okay, he sees lots of pressure, so he skates back down. And this, again, this will always apply for everyone. You have pressure, take behind the safety zone, which is behind the net. Please don't do this goofy stuff like this in the slot. At the very least, you can always skate it behind the net, build up a ton of crossovers, and come back out with speed. Because, yeah, my god, that was suspicious. Okay, another demonstration on the opposite side of what I've kind of outlined with Carrie Ann and Sam earlier. So Alex does a tight turn, couldn't quite keep the momentum coming back up. That's fine, that's something he can work on. But you can kind of see the separation and all this kind of room that he can operate with eventually. Tries to force it through, whatever, it doesn't quite work out. That's fine. But we got a big chance coming up right here. A good pass to Lena. Couldn't quite get it, but you know, we kind of know our general vicinity, that magic spot is tends to open up a little bit. Does a pass down, backhand shot, rebound, shot, block, shot, whiffs on it. Big chances right there. Now this part's really funny with Alex and Ray coming in. Super sketch, but quite entertaining to see from the bench. Oh gosh, oh my goodness. I feel like if I ever see this as Ernest, I would have already dipped back. But that's wild. Let's just keep watching. Oh, yeah, almost. Just couldn't quite get a good... Gotta get a better pass there, Alex. Tape on tape. Oh, that's too bad. So breakouts. A little drop pass to Ernest. This is looking good. Another 4-player rush. Totally game with that. And we can see concentration of players coming in from right to left from the Lightning's perspective. Pass to Justin. Tons of open space. Tons of open space, and we've kind of talked about once you kind of pass this point, we don't want to play too many games. So just got a little too cute there, and exactly what happens, boom, offside, right? So yeah, just got a little too cute there, and it didn't quite work out. It kind of, like, you can see this player really, you crossed him up good, but yeah, couldn't quite get it to stick. That's fine. Now right after that, Dave breaks up a play. Good lead pass by Justin for Fee right there. She's coming in, cuts to the middle, takes a shot, bounces off a skate, and right in the 5-hole. So I'm pretty sure, I think that was Fee's goal, not Dave's goal. And Justin with the primary assist there. I actually wanted to highlight this. Now, Kathy said on the bench to tell the D to carry it up more, and she'll hang back. And so this actually kind of brings back to when we're joining the rush, like I said, we don't need people to hang back. And it also does not, it's building kind of bad habits on the breakout. So right here, I should have, here, let me just put it this way. Boom, right here, I should be expecting Kathy to cut up the middle right here with speed, because we need the center to facilitate the breakout. So I'm seeing nothing there. She's just cruising, and what makes matters worse is, what the hell, she's cruising to go behind. Why aren't you not going up the ice? And so we try to do a diagonal pass, didn't quite work out, and here we go again. So now we're going up. I should be expecting the center to start joining the rush with us, but hanging back. And really what makes it worse is now we don't have a lot of options to pass through and get in that zone. So right here, if we had a center coming up, boom, facilitates movement, and then winger facilitates movement. If you don't have anybody coming in with you, so what the heck do you do? I guess the best option would have been to dump it rather than trying to beat through red tape, but it kind of just hammers the point of that center really facilitating breakouts. Another mid-game blooper. What the hell, Ray? This was a nice little highlight, but also just a little surprise after. Big toe drag, almost another toe drag, and then we got a banana peel. It was looking good, actually. Fortunately, after that, so Ernest fell down. Slight odd man rush right here, and we can see a play developing right here. It looks pretty dangerous. Big pass. Cliff earning his paycheck of free nachos. So the only thing I would say is I understand Ray coming in the challenge, but with Ernest down on the ice, with a 3-on-2 situation, we got to play that a little bit more conservatively in general, so we don't see something like that happen. But we got Cliff back there, so it's okay. Alright, so I actually wanted to break this down a little bit defensively. So let's see how this. So plays in the corner with Ray going on that, and for the center, we always got to say he's going to be covering the short side post, so wherever that puck is going to be, and picking up who's that forward. So 15, and in 42 should be myself. And then because Alex does not pick up this player, there's confusion, and so we both see that we need to block that play. And then of course when we all transition over there, then number 42 is open, and oh, I didn't even realize they pulled the goalie, so there's an extra player. So in general, we just got to be mindful of who we're covering for that defensive coverage. Alright, last 30 seconds. They've pulled the goalie. Let's just see what we should be doing. Oh no, they did timeout. Let's skip ahead, blah blah blah. So one of the things I did say to Lena on the bench is come to the middle, and what I meant was for the face-off. So when there's not much time left on the clock, 31 seconds, there's really not much point for you to be over there. We'd rather see you come over here, and just basically the most dangerous players on the ice are going to be these two, the center and then the D. And if you can help out with either coming to the D, covering the center, or just clogging up this middle of the ice in general, it would be preferred defensively. And just standing in the middle here with two other players is going to kind of put you in a spot to help out. So we move in, so Carrie Ann should have stayed there. So let's see how this happens. There's a face-off, and then Justin clears it out, icing. That's perfect, kill some time. We had 31 seconds, and is now going to be, let's skip ahead, 22. So that's 9 seconds off the clock. And repeat again. Lena lost her glove. Justin clears it out, perfect. 22 seconds. I don't think it, no icing, so that kills more time, which is perfect. Ernest intercepts it, kills the play. Offside, but couldn't quite get it in, and that's the game. I think there's 2 seconds left, and he just ran it rather than wasting time. Yeah. And that's game 2-1 win against the Lightning.